Hi, this is YogiVal, and in this video, we're going to take our all-access stretch next level. So make sure you understand that when you're moving and stretching your body, the number one thing is to move with breath. Take your time, and once again, find that balance between effort and ease, and you'll see that as long as you're breathing with your movement, you're going to be in a good range of motion. Getting a little uncomfortable and breathing through it is what's going to allow the body to stretch and open. So, I always like to start with a little breathing. We're going to make it really simple today. Stand nice and tall, stomach in, and just take a couple inhales. Exhale. Suck your stomach in, inhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Okay. So today, open your feet nice and wide, toes turned out, and check that your knees are over your toes. So this is a big, deep sumo squat. So I love getting into my hips. If you don't know my story, I have a long history of hip problems from breaking my hip when I was 13. So accessing the full range of your hips is a really important way to keep the rest of the body moving, especially your spine. And a lot of people may not have done a simple sumo squat. So the secret that your knees are tracking right over your toes and that you're gently pushing your knees a little bit back to open the whole front of your hip. So doing a little rock back and forth, like everything, if this is too much, just stop. And then stop in the middle. So if you can take another breath, press your left knee back and do a little spine twist. Shoulders down, look to the right side. It's an incredible stretch up through your spine. And just make sure you're grounding your knee by not letting it come forward. And then just simply go to the other side. And feel free if you need to take a little break, because this may be new on your hips. Take a little break. Woo. And gently twist, grounding by not letting the knees or hips move. And just find that stretch, bringing your right shoulder forward, left shoulder back, and just take a breath. Come back to the middle and slowly come up. So yes, for some of you that may be very new, so enjoy opening the front of the hips, which allow more opening and access to your low back. So then just bring your feet pretty much straight forward. Open them a little bit wide. You can bend the knees if you'd like. And walk your fingers down and do a simple straddle stretch. So from the side, you can bend the knees a bit, but the secret is to really just let the head hang, stomach in, and just use your body weight to come down. If you're a little tighter, you can bend or grab the elbows and just use those as the weight that helps you stretch. You can reach around, grab behind your Achilles, and really make sure the shoulders stay away from your ears, stomach in, so that you're lengthening your spine towards the floor, and just take some breaths. You can always stop my videos and stay here a little longer. And then from here, we're going to do a little lengthening and hamstringing all at the same time. So walk your left hand over to your right foot. I recommend putting your right hand on the base of your spine to make sure you don't move your hips so you feel that flatness in your low back and sacrum. And just lengthen your body, chest, over the right leg. Once again, check in your shoulders are relaxed, and just create length. Couple breaths here. Shoulders relaxed. And then come back through the middle, and take your right hand on your left foot, left hand on your low back. Lengthen your spine over the left leg and take a nice big inhale. Long exhale. So don't be attached to how far you're going, but just that you're finding the stretch through your hamstring, through your low back, and relaxing your shoulders, keeping the weight in your toes so gravity can help you. Take one more nice inhale. Exhale, a little more length if it's available. And come back to the middle. Bend your knees, put your hands on your thighs. Slowly roll up. Woo! You may even get a little lightheaded, so just take a breath here. Whew. Okay, I'm going to show you from the side my most common stretch that I do, which is called Ragdoll, which is one of the best ways to just get some stress and tension out of your low back. It also helps create a little more ease in your shoulders, upper back, and neck. So I don't care if you're in the grocery store. I mean, I do it in the grocery store. My children don't always appreciate it. But any time in your day, I recommend doing this 3 to 4 times a day. You can take a little break and do Ragdoll. So right now we're a little warmer. Make sure your feet are about hip width distance. Bend your knees if you need to. You can walk your hands down your thighs, although we've done those other stretches. Grab your elbows, keep the weight in the toes, and just hang. So we're hanging like a Ragdoll. If your legs are straight, it becomes more of only the hamstrings. But the reason I bend the knees is that I actually want to get to the back. So I actually have very open hamstrings, so don't worry, this isn't the goal. The goal is to stretch your back. And just notice how by just hanging and checking in that your shoulders and neck are relaxed, just take a couple breaths here. Really check in that your neck and shoulders are relaxed. And now you can really even do a little swing, slowly, mindfully, or even put your hands on the ground for some of you who are a little more flexible. And remember, you don't get any prizes for more flexibility. What you're always trying to do is search for where can you find some more stretch. For those of you really wanting the next level, you can reach around and just pull your chest towards your shins. Take a few more inhales here. Straighten the legs on the last exhale. And take your time to slowly roll up. So Ragdoll is another one you can work on starting at 5, 10, 15 seconds and work up to 30 seconds. It's a really incredible way to get some stress out of your back and to create space between your vertebrae. So the last one we're going to do before we kind of start to lower our body is a little rotator, which in yoga is called tree pose, but we're also going to show some other accessible ways. So if your hips are very tight or you feel anything in your knees, you want to think of, once again, making your hips parallel to this kind of imaginary mirror in front of you. Stomach in, maintaining and supporting the natural curve in your spine. You can start as low as here, as long as you're not sticking your booty out, by putting your ankle over your shin. You can also use a wall right here for a little bit of balance, and to use that ankle as a fulcrum point to help open the ankle. If you have more access that's available, you can put your ankle bone over the knee, and once again, use the wall if you need to help open this joint. And if you have even more access, you can grab the foot from underneath, bring your right hand into your chest, really suck the stomach in, maintaining this natural curve, not letting your booty stick back. Woo! Grow nice and tall, stomach in, and smile. Push this left knee down and back without letting the hips move. All right, let's try the other side. So once again, just a reminder for those of you who need a little more availability for options, starting down at the ankle, once again using the wall if you need it. Coming to over the knee as a second option. Once again, the goal is this hip stretch, so finding an alignment and form that works to achieve that. And if you have a little more access, you can grab underneath the foot and use the thigh to push the knee down and back. You can lift this hand here, or you can even just gently hold here and take a few breaths. Feels so good to open that hip joint. Okay, and now we're going to move down a little bit. The next thing I want to do in our all access stretch class next level is to show you how to do a great lunge that can really help open the front of the hip joint, which is so critical to have lower spine health, to make sure you can access that lower curve as opposed to the tight psoas hip flexors pulling it out. So setting up a lunge, setting up your hip, your knee, and toe alignment, and then on your left leg or opposite leg, same thing, hip, knee, toe, and just starting to come forward with your chest up. You can even take a slight tuck here to really activate this stretch, and you can also reach this arm up towards the ceiling. So it's not, once again, about how far, but creating length and stretch. Inhale, exhale. Once again, you can also use a table or a wall to help with balance. You can put another knee or pillow under your knee. and then slowly come up. From here, you can reach the hips back, do a little hamstring stretch over this leg, and then just switch legs. So now the left knee goes down, right leg comes up, making sure knee, hip, toes go straight back, hip, knee, toes straight forward, and just starting to come forward. Really trying to get this stretch right here in the front of the hip joint. Lengthening the opposite arm up and lifting your chest up helps intensify. And once again, just finding that stretch and finding your breath. And then reach your hips back. Bring the hands down. It's okay if the knee is a little bent. Just going after a little hamstring stretch, also seeing the connection between the hamstrings and the low back in a forward folding, forward bend. All right, last one. My favorite posture of all is pigeon, because we're going to access not just stretching the back of the hip, but the front of the hip on the opposite leg. And I will show you a laying down variation if this is not accessible. So the front leg is bent at the knee and comes way back. Going at it two ways, lifting your chest up to get a length and stretch in the front of the straight leg. And when you're ready, slowly coming forward to get the back of the hip joint. This is such an important stretch for so many runners, to get this IT band, the piriformis, and really stretch the back of the hip joint. So many problems come from sciatica when this is all very tight. It's a great way to prevent sciatica and a lot of these kind of locked up in the low back issues. This creates some length and space between the hip and low back. And then slowly come up. So you can simply lift yourself up and switch legs, or any other way that's easy for you. So now the left leg, and what you'll see if this is too easy is you can bring this foot up a little bit, all the way up until the ankle is parallel to the knee, but if not, just bring that foot back. Try to drop the right hip down as you lift the chest up and take a breath. Shoulders down, chest up. And then slowly walk the hands out. So yes, you may notice one side is much more flexible than the other. And once again, it's really not that interesting how far you can come, but that you mindfully find where the stretch is, where the discomfort is, and breathing there. So you're welcome to stay there a long time. For some of you, this will feel amazing. But I just wanted to show you another option if you don't have, it's not accessible to do that, which is just to do a lying down version we call thread the needle. So your left ankle goes over the right knee, and you just reach your hands through. There's the thread the needle, and slowly pull the left knee down as you push the left knee back for a little extra, or just thread the needle and pull the shin down. Once again, another great way to stretch the back of the hip joint, something most people don't actually do or know how to do. Switch legs. And being mindful, I have a bionic hip on my right side, so there's not as much access. There's not as much movement. So once again, just finding where there's a stretch and just holding there and just breathing. Then release your leg. Roll to your side and sit up. It's always nice to end with a little spine twist. So sitting in a simple cross-legged position, or if you'd want, since this is a next level class, you could sit in a half lotus or even a full lotus. Take your time. And just simply put your left hand over the right knee and twist. Nice and slow inhale, shoulders down, exhale, twist. And switch to the other side. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Thank you so much, and please always let me know how I can further support you on your wellness journey. Have a great day.